Hey, what's up guys? It's Toxic here. And today we're going to be talking about something really big that Roblox has announced on their blog today, which is the fact that they have officially started rolling out voice chat to people on Roblox. Now, if you guys didn't know, Roblox has been slowly adding things to the platform over the past few months in order to create the voice chat feature, and it seems like they have finally started rolling it out to people. Alright, so as you guys can see on the screen right now, this is actually the blog post that they put up, and it's a pretty long read. There's quite a few paragraphs in there, but there's a lot of important information in pretty much all of the paragraphs. Now, the first paragraph is more like an introduction, so I'm going to skip that one. But let's begin with the second paragraph, which says, "At Roblox, we believe that the metaverse is for everyone, and it follows that the communication capabilities we create must also be for everyone. Different users will have different communication needs based on their context. Our vision for communication has the potential to transcend digital boundaries. Therefore, we are being thoughtful and deliberate about making communication safe as we realize this vision." Now, there's two things that are interesting in this paragraph for me. The first one, which says, different users will have different communication needs based on their context, and our vision for communication has the potential to transcend digital boundaries. Let's go with the first one first. I'm assuming this means that they're going to moderate the voice chat differently depending on who you're talking to. At least that's how that sounds. I know they do expand upon this later in the thing because I skimmed through this blog post, but I didn't actually fully read everything. But I do know that they expand upon this a little bit. But this part right here, which says that it's going to transcend digital boundaries. I'm actually really curious what they mean by this part because I don't know what they mean by transcend digital boundaries. But moving on, the next paragraph says, "Three fundamental principles guide our approach to the future of communication on Roblox. First, communication capabilities must be rooted in the ways we communicate in the real world, especially when in an immersive 3D experience. For example, we raise our voice to reach someone far away, we whisper when we wish to be discreet, we alter our communication style depending on if we are alone or with others, and we use gestures and facial expressions to add nuance and emotion to our words." Now, the first thing that's interesting to me right off the bat is this last part. This really reminds me of the whole facial gestures thing that they were adding and all this stuff. This definitely reminds me of that little video clip that was circulating. So it appears that they're not going to back down on adding, like, animated faces on Roblox with facial gestures and all that stuff. And then something else that I found interesting in this paragraph is actually a little bit before this part of the sentence right here, where they say that we alter our communication style depending on if we are alone or with others. So if I had to guess, this probably means that it's going to be a proximity-based voice chat where, like, if you're closer, things are louder. But moving on, the next paragraph says, "Second, the ways that we communicate in the metaverse are not bound by the limitations of physical reality. When you're in an experience on Roblox, we envision that you'll be able to communicate with others in the experience in the same way you speak with someone at the park. Simultaneously, you will be able to have conversations with friends elsewhere on the platform. For instance, you may have a three-way conversation with someone next to you in an experience and with another friend on the bus on their way home in the real world." And I'm actually going to stop reading right here really quickly because the first thing that popped into my head when I was reading this is actually how Roblox bought Guilded a few weeks ago. And if you guys didn't know, Guilded is something that Roblox purchased, and it's basically similar to Discord in the sense that you could join voice chats and you could do text chats and all that stuff. But the reason why this popped into my head is because on Guilded, there's voice chats where you could join, and you don't have to be playing the same game, or you really don't have to be in the same country even to talk to somebody. But yeah, the way that they're describing this really sounds like it's like a Discord or Guilded voice chat to me. But anyway, they go on to say those dialogues will be able to continue uninterrupted as you move from experience to experience, or as your conversation partners come and go from the experience that you are in. So yeah, like I said before, this really does sound a lot like a Discord server, if anything now, because they're saying that you could go from typing to now a voice chat system to a video chat system, which I didn't even know that Roblox was working on, to be honest, and then to immersive, which I don't know what they mean by immersive, but yeah, apparently there's that type of communication as well. And then they go on to say, third, maintaining a digitally civil and safe platform is paramount. Virtual communication should be governed by the same restraint we exercise in the real world. Context is critical here. In reality, you may be less filtered in a private conversation with your friend, whether it be a text, phone conversation, or in person, than a group conversation at a public venue such as a restaurant. The same will hold true on Roblox, which will offer one-on-one communication, communication with small groups and close friends, and public communication. So this is what's really interesting to me, because the main question a lot of people have been asking for the longest is, how is Roblox going to moderate voice chat to begin with? Like, that's just something that sounded like it was going to be a really tough challenge for Roblox, which tries to stay kid-friendly. But this is really, really interesting to me. The fact that they're going to be moderating voice chat differently depending on what type of conversation you're having. Like, at least based on how Roblox is explaining it in this blog post here, it sounds like if we were to take two adult people, like two over 18 people, and they were having a private conversation on Roblox, if there were swear words said in the voice chat, Roblox would allow it. However, if you were in a game and you start shouting swear words in the public chat and all that, that's where you'd get in trouble. At least based off this post right here, that's the impression that I'm getting. But moving on to the next paragraph right here, it says virtual communication will also be subject to the same forms of natural moderation that exist in the real world. To continue with our restaurant example, if you yell at someone during that public meal, it's likely that people around you will ask you to quiet down, or depending on how offensive you are, you'll be asked to leave. There will be similar consequences on Roblox. Our community will be able to self-regulate and flag a user that is not adhering to community standards, and that user may be removed from an experience or lose speaking privileges. The metaverse is an extension and augmentation of reality, and the standards for civility that we hold ourselves to in the real world must carry over to the digital. Now, based off this paragraph right here, and more specifically this sentence right here, which says there will be similar consequences on Roblox, our community will be able to self-regulate and flag a user that is not adhering to community standards. It sounds like the moderation is going to be almost completely based off reports. Again, this might not be what they mean necessarily, but the impression that I'm getting from this paragraph makes it sound like the main form of moderation for voice chat is going to be based off reports, where if a lot of people report somebody, they're no longer going to be allowed to speak, or, at least not in the game, or if they get too many reports overall, they're just not going to be allowed to speak anymore in general. Now, this next paragraph right here is basically the announcement that voice chat has started being rolled out on Roblox. It says, these principles have led to today's release of Spatial Voice as an invitation-only beta to selected members of our developer community. We hope to collaborate with our community to evolve Spatial Voice to make it realistic, safe, and easy for developers to integrate across all Roblox experiences. With Spatial Voice, Roblox creators will begin to test developing experiences where conversations can happen in a realistic way, mirroring how we listen and respond to the world around us each day. Which basically means that Roblox has fully added voice chat, and it's currently in the stages of being tested by actual Roblox community members, which I think is really, really cool. But yeah, I think that this is a really, really big announcement in general, because not only do they just say that they've added voice chat, but they go into detail as to how they're going to moderate it. They explain all these other things about the future of the voice chat system in general as well, how they're planning to add it into the platform itself, so people could talk without having to be in the same game and all of that stuff. I think that this is a really, really big post, and I think it's very important. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, because even though I'm not going to be using voice chat on Roblox because I don't want to submit my ID or any of that, I still think that this is really, really interesting, and I think that this is a very big change. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Do you guys think that this is a really big change? Do you guys like this? Let me know what you guys think about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.